Hi folks, thanks very much for joining me. In the vise you see a purple and woodcock, not snipe. I don't have snipe, but I'll show you how I've put it together. So without further ado, let's get into it. In the vise we have a Hanak H260 barbless hook. It's at size 14. This is a heavy wire hook and it's in black nickel. The silk I'm going to be tying with today is the Purcell's gossamer silk, as you can see here, and it's obviously purple. Now these little spools, sometimes, you know, the bobbin doesn't grip them properly. Simply take your bobbin off and bend it in till you get the right tension, and that'll sort that out. Now I want to initially wax up the very end of the thread where I'm going to trap down my first layer, but I don't want to get too much wax further up the thread because I want the colour to show through. I'm just rubbing my hands through it to make sure it marries into the silk. So just going to catch in my silk in behind the eye, leaving quite a bit of space, and it's quite important to leave space here. So just here I'm about 1 millimetre off the eye. Then I can run, using my rat's tail, I can guide my thread down. Just taking my time because all there is to the body of this fly is the silk, so you know you want it to be as nice as you can get it. And you can take away your rat's tail and then come carefully back up the body. Try and keep nice touch and turns. Now, not everybody does this, but my friend Graham Lumsden, he always puts a little bump of thread just in behind the hackle, and he says the reason for that is when it's fishing it doesn't completely collapse onto the hook, and I can see the reason in that, because you want it to resemble a little bug. So putting this little bump here really does help the hackle stand out. So I've got my little bump. Probably quite difficult to see actually because I've tied this on quite a small fly. Might have been better to do it on a bigger one, but hey ho, I'm there now. Anyway, I've no snipe, but I do have this woodcock wing, and I've selected a feather from it. As you can see, it's quite a nice feather for doing wets with actually, and it's got lovely barring on it. So I've cleaned away the waste from the bottom, and I'm just going to use my hackle pliers to grip the very tip of the feather and then pull it all, well, particularly weak this one actually, pull it back so that I've got a little tag to tie in there. Now before I attempt to tie my tag in, I'm just going to add a little bit of wax to the thread. This just all helps hold it into place while I'm working it. Then I can grab my feather, and I'm having the good side of the feather towards the eye of the hook, and I'm going to catch that in with 2 turns just in behind that bump, and then I'm going to bend my tag back with my finger and get in front 2 turns. Then I can simply come in, remove the tag end, and then you can just use this handle if you want to bend your feather round, but I still always like to use hackle pliers. Just habit. I think you've got a little bit more control with the hackle pliers, and you do have to be careful because it's such a light feather. Now obviously you'll get Yorkshiremen arguing with Cumbrians till the cows come home how many turns you should do with a wet fly. I am kind of in the middle. I like sparse, but I also like there to be a hackle there at the end of the day. I mean, some of the ones, my other pal who fishes these quite a bit, Dell, he's happy if there's like 3 or 4 strands, and I always find that a little bit too thinly dressed for my liking. So I've locked my feather in place there, and just keeping tension on the thread at all times. I get 2 turns to lock that in place. Then I can remove my hackle pliers, pull everything back behind the eye of the hook, and then just build in a little head there. Now at this point I can come in carefully, just remove my my waist, and then simply come in with your whip finish tool and then once your whip finish is in place, that can be removed. Now you can use head cement, varnish, whatever your poison is for finishing off your fly. I'm going to use some UV resin. I just find it quick and easy to use the resin. But on such a small hook, what you must always do before you cure it off is just get a little bit of wire or an old feather and just ensure that that eye is clear, because trying to clear out an eye on a size 14 when you're on the river bank is not much fun when you're my age, trust me. I'll come in with a torch, cure that off, and the job's a good one. Thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please think about clicking now, and I will see you all next time.